Hey guys, so in this video, we're going to talk about bank feeds or bank transactions section of QuickBooks Online. In bank transactions, there are so many different fields available, so many different sections available that I'm going to break them down into smaller sections and smaller videos. But if you do like long form content instead, please do comment under the video and let me know so I can do one long video. And if you do like the content, please do subscribe to the channel. Okay, let's start. So we'll click on transactions and bank transactions. Or if this is a section where you're going to be working a lot, then you can bookmark the section too by clicking here on the pencil sign and then picking bank transactions here and saving them like I have. So I'll just click here bank transactions and I'll get to this field. Okay, so we're going to stay here in bank transactions. All these other sections are basically topics for other videos. Okay, so in this section, this is what you're going to see. If you have already connected your bank or credit card accounts, you're going to see them here. All the accounts that have been connected are going to show up here, be it your bank account, your credit card account, any type of accounts. Okay, and then what else you're going to see here? When you click on any of these accounts, you're going to see three tabs: for review, categorized, excluded. For review tab is this is the section where all the transactions that have been brought in by QuickBooks Online from your bank, from this particular bank account, are going to show up. You're going to go here, you're going to review through all these transactions and add them. My next video is going to be about how to do bookkeeping using bank transactions section. But in this video, I'm going to walk you through all the features and functions available in bank transactions. So let's see. Now, for review section is where you're going to review all the transactions. Categorized is where all the transactions that have been categorized already are going to show up. Excluded are going to be any transactions that you have excluded from online banking section. Okay, now let's go to for review. Now you can filter it. You can filter the transactions by this quarter, this month, this year, last year, whatever you want. Or you can put the custom dates in here too. You can filter the transactions to see which ones you want to work on: money in, money out, recognized, any suggested matches by QuickBooks Online, or there are a lot of different options and you can just apply it. Okay, so what else you see in here? Link account. When you have to connect a new bank account or credit card account, you would click here on link account. Now, I do have another video, detailed video on how to connect the bank account or credit card account, and I put the link in description. So do watch the video actually to connect your bank account. Update. Most of the time, these credit card accounts and bank accounts update automatically. They bring the transactions in automatically. If you see the account hasn't been updated for last few days or something, you can actually click here on update, and as long as there's no connection issue, it's going to update once you click on update. See how it shows updated moments ago? Because I just did it. Okay, so let's see. Now let's go to settings and preferences. Click on this gear icon. You can pick the columns that you want to see here. So check number is one column that I like seeing if I'm working with my checking account, because if I don't have the check number column checked off, even my checks are recorded as expenses. So I don't want that. I want checks to be recorded as checks. So I want this checked off. Once it's checked off, you're going to see the check numbers if there are any. Okay, there's no check here. So, but if you do have any checks, check numbers are going to show up here under check numbers here. And along with check number, I do like another field turned on, which is editable date field. What this lets me do is checks don't really clear on the same date that you have written them. So I like having this field turned on so I can put the correct date in here. The date I wrote the check, that's the date I want here in the transaction date for the check type transactions. Okay, so that's why I have that on. Payee, you can turn it on or off. I like having it on. I want to see more information in bank feed. Next one is turn on grouping. This is super, 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 super helpful section, super helpful option. When you click on, when you turn it on, you can click on any of these fields and group the transactions by this. When you do bookkeeping, this is extremely helpful and a big time saver because you can see all the transactions that belong to a particular payee, or they have the same description. They are grouped together, so you can just select all these transactions, edit them, and add them all at once instead of doing it one by one. So again, big time saver. Okay, let's look at the next option. Show amounts in one column. We could do that. I like having them in separate one, received and paid. I don't like seeing them as pluses and minuses, but you could if you want to, if that's the view you like. So then we have next option. I'm just going to turn it off because I don't like seeing them in one column. Copy bank detail to memo. When you have this turned on, this bank detail is going to be copied here in the memo section automatically. So I like that as well. So I can see all the bank details in memo, and I don't have to copy and paste it myself. Show bank details. When you have this turned on, instead of having just the name, all the details show up actually in description in the bank detail field. So I like that as well. Enable suggested categorization. That's up to you. I don't really like these. I like to look at the transactions myself and then categorize them. I don't want to take the suggested categorization from QuickBooks, so I keep it turned off. Next one is page size. Depending on how many transactions you have, I like having like the most on the one page, like 300. So that's the most you can have, but your choice. If you want to have 50, 75, 100, 200, 300, you can pick and choose and pick the right option. Another option we have here is export to Excel. We can export these transactions to Excel. So if you want to categorize them in Excel first and then come back and categorize them accurately here, you could do that too. Then we have print list. You can actually print it too. You can save it as PDF or print it and go through these transactions. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. Let's click on one of the transactions and see the options here. So when you're ready to categorize a transaction, you'll click here and you'll go through all these options. Transaction date, whatever the check number is, name of the person giving you are paying money to, account, whatever the account should be. Again, next video is going to be very detailed about like how to do bookkeeping. Then we're going to go over these categories and everything. But I wanted to show all the options that are available here. Add attachment. When you're working with any transaction, if you want to attach any kind of like proof, like a receipt or something, you can actually attach that file here. And it's as simple as clicking on add attachment and browsing your computer just like you would browse it to attach it to like a normal email. That's all. So you would click on add attachment. Now, this is something new I'm just seeing right now. I attached something and I deleted it. I think if I click on this, yeah, so I can recover it too, which is amazing. So that's a new feature I just found out. Okay, next one is create a rule. Now you can create lots of rules actually in QuickBooks Online, and they are super helpful, super big time saver. I'm doing another video actually on rules. There are a lot of things you have to pay attention to while creating rules, so I will do another video. But for now, just keep in mind that rules are like set of instructions you give to QuickBooks Online to categorize transactions based on certain criteria. Like if you see this vendor in bank detail, then put it in, like, for example, pay should be Staples and account should be office supplies or something. So those are type of rules you can create. Again, next video will be very detailed on this. Exclude. If you want to exclude any transactions for any reason, maybe QuickBooks Online brought the transactions twice or thrice, whatever, they're a duplicate transaction, and you would like to exclude one of them, you could just click here and exclude the transaction. One more thing, very helpful thing actually that QuickBooks did was relatively newer feature. If you have a vendor selected here, let's say Books by Bessie, when you have that, you get another option here. It wasn't here before. Now that I have selected a vendor, it appeared here, which is called categorization history. When you click on that, it opens a tab on the right side. And what it does is, if there are any transactions posted to this vendor before, it's going to show you the history for this particular vendor for last 12 months, and you can see which accounts the transactions to this vendor have been posted before. So you can look at it, and you can create a rule based on that, or assign this category to it. Oops. And if there is a category already, you can say assign category, and the transaction will be categorized here as the category that you just picked, and you would click on add. Another thing you can do is, when you are working on these transactions here, you can click on split if you need to divide the transactions into two parts. Let's say travel, and then you want to say meals as well. So you can break it down into two, or as many line items as needed. Okay, so these are all the features actually in banking section, I think. Let me see if there's anything else. That's it. These are all the features actually available in the banking online banking section, or the bank feed section. Next video is going to be on detailed bookkeeping using the um, bank feeds section of QuickBooks. And yeah, that's it. Until then, happy accounting.